Hi there, John McLauchlan here. Welcome to this really special training. I'm looking forward to doing this and just getting for you to understand a bit more about video and really the potential that you've got with video in terms of marketing. So, what I'm going to do is this presentation is going to be kind of to the point. Okay, one thing you know about me is that I don't waffle about stuff. I don't go on for hours and hours on end. So I'm going to be talking about video, but in particular how to record better videos at marketing events. There was so many things that you can talk about with video, and I think this subject in itself is going to really help a lot of people who are going to marketing events, or even people who are just trying to record video in general, and really sort of get the whole format going and have something that you can actually use in your sales funnels, in your presentations, in your marketing in general. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of people, and I know a lot of people watching this, you're missing out on getting some really good marketing collateral because you just haven't got a structure. You just don't actually know what to do, and you sometimes feel a little bit nervous and overwhelmed. And we're going to be covering that. So I'm going to be going through a PowerPoint presentation in a few minutes. Then what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be showing you some of my video. I'm going to be looking at a video. I'm going to be talking through it and kind of showing you some of the points and highlighting, number one, the format, number two, the things that I say and the things that you can model for yourself to develop your business, to develop your brand, and really move forward positively with video, because I know a lot of people are really kind of quite scared about using video. So let's get started. So I'm going to go and share my screen. Okay. So as I said, this presentation is called "How to Record Better Video at Marketing Events," and I think you're going to really enjoy this. So one thing I do here is this picture of me. I didn't put it on there just to make myself look, clever or anything else. What I want to come back to is that everything that you do online, everything that you do within your marketing has to represent you and your brand. So this for me is kind of how I like to dress, if you like, when I go out for meals, or I do sort of dress in scruffy clothes quite a lot of the time, but when I'm doing marketing or I'm going out or I'm going to an event or whatever, this is what I like. I like to wear a kind of white shirt and a dark jacket, and that represents your brand. So we're going to talk about branding a little bit later on. So we'll come to that in a sec. All right. Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about me, because one of the things when people start doing presentations, they say, well, okay, what qualifies you to teach me anything about how to produce videos? So I thought this is a really good little intersection into telling you a little bit more about myself. So this is me. I'm laughing at this because this is crazy. It just seems like another lifetime ago. In the 90s, I actually joined the police in 1992. This is a picture of me here, looking slim and with a bit of hair. But I worked with a great set of people, and I did that for the best part of 10 years. But really, what I wanted to do, I wanted to move on, and I always want to be in business. So in the 2000s, I moved into construction and property developing, and did very well in that. But come 2007, the recession kicked in. A lot of really successful builders and successful companies closed almost overnight, and luckily I kind of escaped it. But I thought to myself, the business is changing, and I need to really shore up. I need to do something different. I need to have a safety net. So what I did is I started recording how-to videos. So I started recording myself how to plaster and how to build walls, and I started doing presentations, and kind of I was met with two questions. Number one, how do I market this stuff online? I had no idea what to do. And number two, how do I make better videos? Because what I'm making at the moment is just not really very good. So those two questions, how to market, how to make better videos, started in 2007, and it took me the best part of 4 years to actually find that out. But in 2010, I went to the local university, and I walked in. There's a guy called Dan there, and I said, I'm interested in doing a course. And he said, okay, well, I think looking at what you already do, why don't you do a degree course? So that conversation took me through the 3-4 years of education, getting an honours degree in filmmaking. So essentially that's my introduction, if you like. That's what kind of qualifies me as somebody who knows what they're doing. I'd never say I'm an expert, but I kind of know what I'm doing, and I know my way around and what works for video, and certainly what works for marketing. So skip. So when you're doing video, what you want to do is you want to get into the habit of recording as much as you can, of taking as many photographs as you can, because it's going to pay you dividends when you sit back in your office after going to an event, after going on holiday or doing whatever, and having something to work with. Okay, so wherever I go in the world or whatever I do, there's always an interview going on. I'll always record something. So, and what you've got here, you've got like a little sort of collage of pictures and snapshots. And if I never did this, if I never recorded video, if I never did any marketing, if I never got any marketing collateral, I wouldn't have this to fall back on. Okay, so first kind of rule is wherever you go, always have something with you. Look, let me show you this. It's a revelation. Look, it's a Samsung. It's kind of, the actual phone's okay, sort of Samsung S6. Okay, with a video on it. Okay, and quite often I use this, which is the dual microphone, and that's it. Back when I'm in the studio, I'll probably use this. I don't know if you can see this. This is my 750D. Right now, I'm recording on a webcam. Okay, so webcam's average quality. I think it's even HD. But what I'm saying is, you don't need great cameras. You don't need a multitude of stuff. You just need to know what you're doing. Okay, and that's what we're going to be covering in this presentation. So, I don't know if you can see that. I'm getting emails coming in. Right? Annoying. Right, so video right now is the best opportunity for you to grow your business. Okay, if you're into blogging, fantastic. You can do 1,000 blogs. Okay, you can write to your heart's content. You can do lots of lovely pictures, but people don't engage with you in the same way as they do with video. And you can test that to your heart's content, but trust me, that's what happens. So by the end of this training, you're going to have a clear path to confidently produce high quality video and marketing collateral. Okay, so if you're watching this right now and you're not particularly confident on video, is that something that you would like? Would you like me to go through it? Would you like me to show you how you can confidently produce video with a clear path and a clear plan of action? Because that's what we're going to be covering. Right. So the video pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of video? I'm sure you already know if you've sat there, at an event and you've got your video camera like this, your video camera, your phone, and you're talking away and you're spluttering and you don't know what to say and you turn it off and you go, I've had enough. Okay, so the video pros and cons. Let's start with a positive one. Let's talk about the actual pros. As we know, video is the #1 medium online. People wherever you go, people want to watch video. If you do Facebook ads and you're doing images, Facebook will say, do you want to make this into a video? Because they know that video is what people want. So whether it's complicated strategies on Forex, or whether it's dancing cat videos, people love it. People love video, but you already know that. When you're doing a video, as I kind of alluded to before, you communicate everything. What I mean by that is you communicate your vocals. So now you know how I sound on video, okay? You communicate visually. You communicate your non-verbal communication. And this is kind of more important because you also talk to people's subconscious. And people can subconsciously make a decision from you. And that kind of brings me into the next thing, which is developing that know, like, and trust factor. And I put them there by 10x. Okay, it's not an exact science, but But if you compare doing a video to, say, doing a blog post or doing something different, video is going to get you that know, like, and trust factor. And if you don't know what that is, whether it doesn't matter what you're doing in business, it doesn't matter if you're building relationships, it doesn't matter what you're doing in your life, people will do business with you, and people will go on dates with you, if you like, because they know, like, and trust you. Okay. So think about that. If you're going to try and sell anything to people, if you're going to try and influence somebody, then the know, like, and trust factor has to come in, and you can do that, of course, with video. Video is fast and responsive. Just think, I can be out, I don't know, walking the dog, and I can get the video out. Here we go, talking about video again. Get the phone out and do a Facebook Live. It's done, it's finished, it's completed in the time that it takes. You don't have to, stop and edit and all that sort of thing. So it's fast and responsive, and you can get out to an audience almost straight away. Okay, and of course, the pros of video, there's a lot more. There are a lot more, okay, but obviously we're going to get through it. So, the cons. You know what the cons are because you've done it, okay? I'm pretty sure you have. So, don't know what to say. You're doing a video and you don't know what to say, but you do know what to say, but you don't quite know how to say it. And then you're going to try and say something and you get halfway through and then something happens. How are you going to deal with that? So it's all about being prepared when it comes to video. All right. A lot of people feel really overwhelmed. It's a really kind of strange phenomenon. I kind of first experienced it when I first started filming my plastering videos and DIY videos. I would put the camera in front of me. I think I've got it with me. The little tiny little camera. And I would read the script and I go, yeah, okay, that's great. Hello, I'm John McLauchlan. Welcome to another episode of Plastering Secrets. Today we're going to be doing this. That was a script. I would turn the camera on and all this nonsense would just come out, spluttering and stammering and carrying on and not really knowing why. And that sometimes is just a case of just, fear, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. What is the fear of talking to an inanimate object? Okay. Now you watching this, okay, right now I'm recording it on my webcam, and I know that there are people there, but really there isn't anyone there. I'm just talking to the webcam. Okay, so there's a strange psychology behind talking and then talking in front of a camera that's actually recording. Okay, and it comes with practice. It comes with practice, and it also comes with a format that I'm going to tell you about. So you don't have a plan of action. What is the plan of action when you want to record a video? And I'll tell you what happens is people go to a marketing event, they kind of understand the people that are going to be there, but don't really know what their skill set is, don't have things set up, don't have microphones ready. And at the drop of a hat, what you want to be doing when you go to a marketing event is saying, hello, how are you? My name's John McLauchlan. Nice to see you. Can I have a quick interview with you? And most people will say yes. Now, if people are slightly nervous about being on video, and there are a lot of people out there who have done really well online, but obviously are a little bit nervous about doing on video, then you can approach it by saying, can I have a chat with you? Yeah, have a chat. Small commitments, little wins. Okay. Do you mind if I record it? Little wins, little commitments. Yeah, okay. And then you've won somebody over to get a video. So it's all about having that plan of action, and also knowing what people's skill set is, so you know what to ask them when you get into the position where you want to interview them. Okay, so are we nervous and embarrassed about doing videos? Are we conscious about being that person in the room who's talking to himself or herself on your phone? Okay, and by default, most of us are when we first get started. But again, if you come down and you have a format, you know what you're doing, then you can get over those nerves. And actually, what happens is your senses almost, you're taking in people from the room. You think people are watching you. Actually, some people might be, but most people don't really care. And as soon as you get into the video, that consciousness comes back down, and you focus on what you're actually saying. You focus on this because you're talking to your audience. And it's all about engaging your audience. So, nervous and embarrassed. And of course, the cons, there are many more cons, okay? But let's move on from those because we all know what they are. So the key to producing good video is remembering the key principles of marketing. And I always say, whenever you're stuck, whenever you're not quite sure what to do, always come back to the key principles of marketing because they never change. Techniques change. Facebook on a weekly basis changes. Everything changes, but the key principles never do. So just bear that in mind. Let's talk about those. So the video success principle number 1 is to know and understand your target audience. And I'll guarantee you that I would say 80% of people don't. 80% of people probably don't know who their target audience is. And if you talk to people and you say, who is your target audience? They'll say something like, oh, it's people in their 40s. They're kind of quite ambitious, but they don't really know what to do, and they want to get started with internet marketing. Okay. And it's nonsense because, right now, am I talking to those 40-year-old people, or am I talking to Anne, who's 53? And she earns over $50,000 a year, and she actually lives in North Carolina. But Anne is a bit frustrated because she works in education, and she's frustrated because what she's teaching isn't really in line with her true beliefs of what she believes that the world should be. She wants people to be educated about finance and entrepreneurialism. So she's frustrated, but she's got a real passion for teaching. And Anne really wants to know more. Okay, and that is what you call a target audience, not the generalization. So when you're talking to people on camera, your nonverbals, your communications, everything that you do is targeted towards those people that you know. And your vocals and everything is different, as opposed to, hey, let's talk to a bunch of 40-year-olds. All right, so bear that in mind. So have a strategy in place. What is your strategy? Your strategy is you go to a marketing event and as I mentioned before, who's going to be there. You've already got a format in place, so you know what to say, when to say it. And I sort of see it like a bit of a sandwich. Okay, so you have like an introduction. You introduce the person that you're speaking to, you introduce yourself, and you introduce everything. So what you have is like a 3-way conversation with you, the interviewee, and the audience, the people that are watching this. Then you go through with the content, and then you finish it off with a really good outro or an ending and a call to action. So that's your strategy. So you already know what you're saying because you've got those parameters laid in. You've already got the framework built out. All you need to do is fill the blanks. And if you're doing interviews, then the person who you're asking the questions to are filling the blanks in for you. Okay, so let's move on from that. Okay, I mentioned about format. Okay, we're going to be looking at a format, and I'm going to be showing you one of my interviews and how that format actually works. And again, you can model that. If you're just getting started with videos, be positive and be proactive. So be positive. What I mean by that is, don't go to a marketing event and you see the multiple 6- and 7-figure earners, and you go, well, they're a bit out of my league. They don't really want to speak to me. I'll just leave it until next time. Okay, don't do that. Be positive. Approach them. Shake the hand. How you doing? Nice to see you. I'm John McLauchlan. How's the event going? Great. Yeah, lovely. Can we have an interview? Can I have a quick chat with you? Yeah, fine. Okay, let's record it. And that's how you go. And I'll tell you now, with the exception of maybe a tiny percentage, everybody is more than happy to do an interview with you. The downside of it is they get requests all the time for interviews, and a lot of people ask really ridiculous questions because they don't have the format in place. They don't know what they're doing, and they get nervous and they ask daft questions. Okay, so this is really going to help you in that respect. And again, it's all about developing your brand. When you're doing videos, be consistent. So when you have a format, be consistent. Okay. So if you look at things like game shows, people love game shows because they know the format and they look forward to those little bits coming up. Okay. It's like a reward system. Okay. Here it is. It's coming. Great. Okay. People like it. Soap operas are the same. You know, if you ever watch soap operas, which I suggest you don't, but you know, they're all the same because they've got a format and people understand the format, and your audience will then be trained or trained to appreciate your format, and then you develop a brand and the know, like, and trust, and your business as a result. Okay, so I want to go through a video here. This is a video I did, it's an interview I did with Ray Higdon. I did it with Ray. I'm going to show you Ray because pretty much everyone knows who Ray Higdon is. But there were some really interesting things about this interview that I want you to have a look at. So I'm just going to come out of this. Okay, I'm just going to share. Okay, so I'm going to just pull my microphone down a little bit. You should be able to hear this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of it, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk you through what's happening. In fact, if you look at what's happening right now, if you look at Ray, how disengaged is Ray? It looks like he's going to go, oh dear, there's somebody else who's asking me a question, what's going to happen here? And he's really disengaged with what's going on. And if you look at his body language, you know, it's kind of a little bit closed off. So he's protecting himself because he's protecting his brand, okay, against someone that might, you know, ask some daft questions. So let's just play this. Let's put this down a little bit.
Hi there, I'm John McLauchlan. I'm here with Mr. Ray Higdon. Someone that needs no sort of introduction, 8-figure earner, super successful, and you know, I've followed all of his trainings online. One question I want to ask you first.
Okay, so the introduction there was a bit waffly, but essentially what I've done is I've engaged the audience, I've introduced who Ray is, and also what he's going to do. So here comes the question. And again, if you look at Ray, he's still a little bit disengaged because I haven't actually said to him what I'm going to talk to him about. Okay, so the first thing, again, is if you get somebody who's giving you their time, let me just put this back a little bit. So if you're giving someone's giving you their time, always thank them for the time. Always find something to, you know, break the ice and just break things up a little bit. So, you know, here's Ray Higdon. Ray, really appreciate your time doing this video.
One question I want to ask you about, first of all, really thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Is I hear a lot of people talking about blogging, and blogging and SEO is what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about, you know, SEO is dead, and you know, blogging doesn't really work anymore. You need to use Facebook as your sort of main traffic source.
Yeah.
What would you say to that? And then sort of people that are suggesting that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is essentially, because Ray Higdon is a blogger, I asked him about blogging because that's his core speciality. So look at what's happened here. Is I'm asking Ray the question, okay, disengaged, what's going on, okay, and then we're going to carry on. Okay, oh, blogging, great.
A lot of people talking about, you know,
so now he's starting to warm up a little bit because, you know, he's starting to think about his answer. And if you listen to the way he says, yeah, at the end of this, okay, that for me was, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. This interview is going to be not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then it all sort of kicks off. One of the things about formats, as well as your introduction, is ask one question. Don't go in there with 4 or 5 questions lined up because you'll miss the elephant in the room, okay? Go in with one question, and then what you want to do is investigate the pertinent points of what he says during his answer, okay? And normally pick up on one point. And the reason I do that is because it leaves your video within a kind of 3 minutes. I always like videos to be 3 minutes. Any longer than your target audience start to get bored, unless it's a warm traffic, or unless you're doing a specific thing like a long interview or a webinar type scenario. So
we look at social media and Facebook and really all of those things. Those are just spokes. Those are spokes to our hub, and our hub is our blog. The reason.
Okay, so what happens here is that Ray comes through with a really succinct, a really elegant, if you like, answer in relation to my question. Now, as an interviewer, what you need to do, and I'm telling you this right now, what you need to do, you need to listen to what they're saying, okay? Because it's essential. A lot of people don't listen, and you'll be going on and you'll be thinking, oh, he's talking, he's still talking, because you're a little bit stressed, you're a bit nervous. Okay, maybe you're meeting these people for the first time. So listen to what they're saying, because you need to pick up on any pertinent points, or the pertinent points that they ask. Okay, let's continue.
Blogging works is that's how people like to consume information now. There's a big distrust of media right now. I think hardly anyone trusts it.
Okay, I know I keep stopping this, but this is really important. So as you're talking, okay, always keep your audience engaged. And what I tend to do is I look back at the camera.
There's a big distrust of media right now.
Okay, so because we've got a three-way conversation, we're not doing a two-way conversation, because it's me, Ray, and the audience. So bear that in mind as well.
I think hardly anyone trusts the media anymore. And, so they if you look at things like, if you Google like the Tim Ferriss effect, being on his blog is now more productive and profitable than being on the front page of a newspaper, a major newspaper. And so people trust bloggers that provide value, and whether it's SEO or not, that will always matter. You don't own Facebook. Trust me, we've been booted off Facebook, YouTube, all kinds of different things that we also didn't own. You own your blog. You can control that, and that's your baby. So, I would highly suggest you look at all other channels as spokes to drive them to your hub, but you really need to build that value in the hub, and that's how we have created so much, income from our website. Anything on Facebook, we do use Facebook. We do use Facebook ads. It's just to drive them over to our hub.
And with SEO, would you?
Okay, so it's a really good answer into what he's saying. And now what I'm going to do is I'm thinking, okay, I've now got some really good information. Ray's kind of engaging a bit more. Okay, we're now into 2 minutes, but I want a bit more. So have I got time to ask another question based on what he's just said? Okay, and I thought, well, yes, I have. So here's the second question. And if you ask a question based on the pertinent points that they've just said, what you're doing is you're going deeper with the question. You're going deeper with the knowledge, and what it tells your interviewee, what it tells Ray is that, yeah, I actually do know what I'm talking about, and it builds your credibility as a result. Okay, so again, it's building your brand and your credibility with somebody who is already credible. So let's play it again.
And with SEO, would you say, for a lot of new people, they sort of have this 3-month kind of window where they get really excited, and then they go, okay, 3 months left, but no results.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Would you say, okay, start with ads and then develop with SEO in the back end, or how would you progress?
Well, there's two different methods of building a Facebook.
So again, talking about blogging, and then talking about the question that your audience wants to ask. So if your audience were there, what would they be asking? And this comes down to your research and your planning and knowing who your target audience is. So if your target audience has got no interest whatsoever in blogging, then what's the point getting blogging advice, because your audience doesn't really care about that. If your audience is interested in blogging and interested in knowing a bit more about Ray Higdon, then fantastic, then do it. Okay, but make it relevant for your audience as well. Let's play it again.
There's marketing and there's prospecting. So marketing is passive. You know, you're doing a blog or a video or something. You hope someone, you know, unnamed reaches out to you, responds to it, etc. Prospecting is you reaching out to others. So when we started blogging, we didn't get immediate results, but I can assure you, quitting won't speed it up. But in the meantime, when we didn't have leads to connect with, we were prospecting and building making leads. So, you know, if you don't have leads coming in, then you should be prospecting to go and find leads. That would be my big suggestion: is don't sit there and wait and refresh the screen. Reach out to others and connect with, you know, leads and determine their needs, and that's what you can offer.
Well, fantastic information.
So what's happened here is, again, another great explanation from Ray. And I'm now sort of thinking, okay, we're almost up to 3 minutes. I'm now going to leave with that. And what I actually did, I put my hand out to sort of, not to shake his hand, but he shook my hand, which was quite funny.
Thank you. Thank you.
So always have a really good outro, because it's like the other part of the bread of the sandwich, if you like. So you've done a good intro. The body of the material has been done by somebody who's really successful, so that's always going to be good. So you need to kind of frame it with a good outro. And here's the outro.
We've just got off the stage with Ray, and some great information on blogging, some great information there. This is Ray Hickman. I'm John McLauchlan. We'll speak soon.
Okay. So it's a standard outro that I use is either what I decided not to do with that one is give somebody a call to action, because it kind of cheapens the fact that you've just spoken to someone that's made, you know, millions and millions of dollars online in the last couple of years. So I decided not to do a call to action. Sometimes it depends on who you're talking to and the circumstances, and also your target audience. But with you know, great information there from Ray. You know, he's just got off the stage. He's given us some fantastic information. Many thanks, Ray. Really appreciate your interview. This is Ray Higdon. I'm John McLauchlan. We'll speak soon. And if you get a format like that where you say the same thing on an outro in every video, I'll guarantee you that every video will be good, because the outro and the intro frame the body of the information. I remember doing a video a few years ago now, with two people who were very good friends, and I said to them, you know, could we do an interview? And they said, yeah, no problem, that's great, you know. And my intro was about 5 minutes, so they're stood there looking at themselves and trying to engage with me. So my intro was too long. Their information was absolutely spot on. It was really good, and they gave the microphone back to me, and I went, oh, well, now what do I say? So I wasn't prepared, because I wasn't particularly experienced in doing interviews at that time. And I went back to the studio because I had no idea what to do. Thankfully, I just cut it and went to a you know, a different outro. But, you know, having these things prepared and having these things ready are really going to make the difference every time. Okay. So let me just come out of this. So if you want to listen to this video, let's listen to this video all the way through, because I was talking all the way through it. So let's get to 10 seconds. Okay. So here's the video all the way through. Have a listen and just try and pick up on the format, the intro, the welcome, the thanks. Have a look at the non-verbal communications of me, looking at me there, all jolly, oh, yeah, here we are, and Ray, who's kind of, okay, here we go, is another one, you know. So have a look at it and make some notes.
Hello there, I'm John McLauchlan. I'm here with Mr. Ray Higdon. Someone that needs no sort of introduction, 8-figure earner, super successful, and you know, I've followed all of his trainings online. One question I want to ask you, Ray, first of all, really thanks for doing this.
Yeah, our pleasure.
I hear a lot of people talking about blogging, and blogging and SEO is what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about, you know, SEO is dead, and you know, blogging doesn't really work anymore. You need to use Facebook as your sort of main traffic source.
Yeah.
What would you say to that? And then sort of people that are suggesting that.
Yeah. So, you know, we look at social media and Facebook and really all of those things. Those are just spokes. You know, those are spokes to our hub, and our hub is our blog. The reason blogging works is that's how people like to consume information now. There's a big distrust of media right now. I think hardly anyone trusts the media anymore.
Yeah.
And so they if you look at things like, if you Google like the Tim Ferriss effect, being on his blog is now more productive and profitable than being on the front page of a newspaper, a major newspaper. And so people trust bloggers that provide value, and whether it's SEO or not, that will always matter. You don't own Facebook. Trust me, we've been booted off Facebook, YouTube, all kinds of different things that we also didn't own. You own your blog, you can control that, and that's your baby. So, I would highly suggest you look at all other channels as spokes to drive them to your hub, but you really need to build that value in the hub, and that's how we have created so much, income from our website. Anything on Facebook, we do use Facebook, and we do use Facebook ads. It's just to drive them over to our hub.
And with SEO, would you say, for a lot of new people, they sort of have this 3 month kind of window where they get really excited and then they go, okay, 3 months has happened, but no results.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Would you say, okay, start with ads and then develop your SEO in the back end? Or how would you progress?
Well, there's 2 different methods of building your business. There's marketing and there's prospecting. So marketing is passive. You're doing a blog or a video or something, you hope someone, unnamed reaches out to you, responds to it, etc. Prospecting is you reaching out to others. So when we started blogging, we didn't get immediate results, but I can assure you quitting won't speed it up. But in the meantime, when we didn't have leads to connect with, we were prospecting and really making our leads. So, if you don't have leads coming in, then you should be prospecting to go and find leads. That would be my big suggestion, is don't sit there and wait and refresh the screen. Reach out to others and connect with leads and determine their needs, and that's what you can offer.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic information. We've just got off. Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much. We've just got off the stage with Ray. Some great information on blogging. Some great information there. This is Ray Higdon. I'm John McLauchlan. We'll speak soon.
Okay. So again, just to enhance the brand, don't forget the lower thirds. So you can put your lower thirds in there. Again, I can do a training to show you how to do those really, really kind of quick and easy. And what I sometimes do is I put a video, I can't say this, where are we? Okay, a video outro. So it's kind of just like a branded outro. And sometimes I put these in and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm doing. And I'm sure, if you go on a YouTube video and you want to find out how to, do something technical, and someone says, okay, here we go, and there's a big intro, you just skip it. You're not interested. You want the information, but sometimes this can just add. So just something simple. And again, something like that takes you 10 minutes to do, and it just kind of finishes it off nicely. But again, if you're doing something where you're trying to show people what to do and it's too professional, then they're going to say, well, I can't do that. All I've got is a phone, so you've got to be careful, and it just comes back to your target market, who you're actually, who your target audience is. Okay, let's just stop this. Let's go back into the, where is it? There we go. Almost done that. Okay. And I've done that. Let's just come back here. There you go, love the technology. I think we're there. Oh, well, don't mind it. We'll just go down. So we've seen all these. So we've got to there. So interview format. Okay, remember, have an introduction, have a format to start with, and practice your format. But have an introduction, and introduce yourself, how you want to be branded. Okay, I'm just John McLauchlan, and that's it. That's what I say. Every video is the same. Hello, I'm John McLauchlan. Today we're going to talk about this. Hello, I'm John McLauchlan. Welcome to this training. That's just how it is. Okay, simple. Ask one good question. Don't ask more than one question, because again, what I've seen before is, let's say, for instance, I asked Ray Higdon, I said to him, okay, Ray, I hear blogging's dead. And he goes, well, actually, we're doing blogging and blah, blah, blah. And he goes on, and his ending statement is, but yeah. blogging is dead. And in my mind, I've got two questions. And my next question is, hey, Ray, do you like cats? I've seen it. I've seen it before where people have asked people, what's your favorite color? Ridiculous. So you've got to pick up on those pertinent answers. Okay. And engage with your audience. Remember, they're watching. Okay. Whether you think they are or they aren't, people are always watching. Okay. Just like right now. And have a conclusion. So your conclusion, okay, we've had a great conversation with Ray. Appreciate your input, Ray. Many thanks. Work on your outro. Okay, your outro can be a call to action. It can be, okay, for some more information, just click the link below and we'll speak on the next page. There's a little outro. Or, great information there from Ray. What can you say? I'm making this up. So great information there from Ray. If you want to know more, just drop me a comment just below this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or something like that, you know what I mean? So you know what your target audience is and you know what kind of engages them. But, if you don't know who your target audience is, then number one, I would find one and find out the kind of people and work on that. Okay, so again, that's probably another training I can bring to you. And practice. If you're not quite sure what to do, follow this structure. Follow this structure of having a format and practice it. Okay, because you will get better. You will get better as you go. All right, and this just brings me back to the end of it. Really, the sort of the commitment is you need to commit to doing it, because the only way you'll get better at video is if you hate video. Is you got to do it, and you'll hate it, and then you'll love it. That's how it works. So I'm looking at. See, I've got a thing about. You're there, okay, but I'm looking at me. Okay, I should be looking at you. So there's another tip I should be teaching myself. So as Paul Mayer says here, productivity is never an accident. It's always a result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. And I think that just sums up everything. I mean, I've got to be quite honest with you. I'm not one for cliches. I'm not really one for wonderful memes, but they do come in handy sometimes. I'm really all about, this is how it works. Go and do the work. Go and put the work in. Don't sit there talking about how great things are. Just go and do it. Okay, so but yeah, Mayer makes a really good point. And mindset. It's all about mindset. If you want to get better at something, it's mindset. If somebody is succeeding with the same system and you're not, it's because you're not doing something right, and it's normally because of your mindset. And we could speak for days on mindset, but obviously we're going to wrap this up. So again, as Steve Maraboli says on there, once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. Think about that. And sometimes when we're working on mindset, we've got to go through some painful changes about ourselves. But if you want to build a business, if you want the lifestyle, if you want to do all the things that we can do potentially, then we have to change our mindset. All right. And just to finish on mindset, okay, I'll tell you right now, mindset is the difference between achieving your business goals this year and still watching somebody else's video in 6 months' time or 3 months' time or next week. Okay, watching videos. Oh, this is a great video. That's a great video. Okay, start doing your own videos and start influencing somebody else with your brand, influencing somebody else with your knowledge, and that's how you gain traction. Mindset is the difference between developing your dream lifestyle and sitting back or looking back in 12 months' time thinking, what if I'd have done what John suggested? What if I'd have followed the format and I had the guts to go out and get this little thing there and start recording it or start getting some interviews? Because if you're serious about developing an online business or any business, you need to get serious about the things that you don't like doing. Okay. Let me tell you, video is a great medium. It's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to know how to do. And it's a powerful thing to use in your marketing and your sales funnels. And you need to be doing it. So I hope you've got some benefit from this. If you like this video, and if you get some value from it, then like it, drop me a comment, share this video, because this is something that a lot of people really need and don't do because of the reasons I set out before. So what I'm going to be doing as well, I'll put a link either above or below this video, wherever it is, and I'm going to give you the slides. I'm going to give you some more resources that you can use, really just to help you. Okay, there's no selling, there's nothing to buy. Okay, it's just a case of I'm just going to give you some value and start giving more value for you. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, share, drop me a message. If you want some more training in different areas, let me know what you need. Let me know what your pain points are. Let me know what you're struggling with. Okay, because it's all about sharing the information and just building businesses and making life more tolerable. Okay, right. I'm going to leave you with that. It's been really good speaking with you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.